guys, let's talk about a hot button issue. Not global warming, not childhood obesity. No. We're talking about something much, much more serious. People who do not beat their video games. I mean, just think about it. These guys can spend $50, $60, maybe even $70 on video games, and in some instances, these games can be hundreds of dollars. Looking at you, Fire Emblem. You work hard for your money. You can imagine someone having the nerve to not beat their game that they bought. What could compel someone to give up on a game? Well, yes, money is limited. Money is hard earned. But guess what? Time is even more limited, and you can't just go back to work Monday to get more time. In fact, you get less of it with each day. And who has time to play games they do not enjoy anymore? Now it should start to make a little more sense. Lately, I've been pressuring myself to stick to beating Rogue Galaxy. I hit the prison level, and it was just awful. Progression just stopped dead in its tracks. I found myself just not having fun anymore. I've been beefing up my GameCube collection, so games like Baten Kaitos and Tales of Symphonia have been starting to stare at me, begging me to play them. But I've always wanted Rogue Galaxy, so I didn't want to just quit on Rogue Galaxy. I love Level 5, I love Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2, and this was a game that I've wanted since I found out about it a few years ago. But, like I said, I just wasn't having fun anymore, and it got me thinking, do I have to beat Rogue Galaxy to say that I enjoyed my time with it? I mean, the levels leading up to the prison were fun. I like the characters. I like how it's more of the same with Dark Cloud. So do I really have to beat it to say that I had fun with it? Would I be throwing money away if I just abandon it now? What would other gamers think of me if they knew that I didn't beat all my video games? So I decided to make a video talking about some of the games that I just gave up on and why I think it's okay to not beat a game just because you started it. And let's just talk about some reasons that people stop playing their games. The first reason we'll delve into is games are just too hard. Hard games are a commitment. Most games you can get better at. You can learn enemy patterns, behaviors, and spawn points. The more you play, the more efficient and effective you become, but that's a huge time sink. This gets us to a powerful concept: opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost, you may ask? Well, Oxford definition states the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. This just means that while you're sitting there dying over and over and over again, maybe you start looking at your collection thinking, man, do I really want to sit here and watch Titus die again and again when Pac-Man World 3 is calling my name?
Story. No, not like this.
I know I sure don't. So that's difficulty and opportunity cost. Another reason can be that the game is just not what you thought it would be. And I have two examples for this one. The first one is Final Fantasy 13. So I didn't play Final Fantasy 13 when it came out. I was kind of late to the hating on Final Fantasy 13 party. I had actually stayed spoiler-free, opinion-free of Final Fantasy 13. Now, I went straight from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy 13, and I loved Final Fantasy 13. The party system, the open world exploration, so to speak. I thought, okay, I really love what they were able to do with the first one on NES. Imagine when this thing gets to the Xbox 360, because the Xbox 360 is going to be such a much more powerful concept. Oh, the worlds you can make, the combat system, the characters that you can make with the 360. I played Final Fantasy 13 for over 10 hours before it could just no longer hold my attention. And guys, the characters were fine. The world and level design was okay. I mean, really more so the world is epic, but the level design is boring. Okay, so it balances out to an okay. The combat was interesting enough, but after a while, it just started feeling like a movie. I wasn't exploring these worlds. I wasn't making decisions that mattered. I was just watching a ragtag team of hooligans while the levels began feeling repetitive and like corridors with no freedom or exploration. People told me, whoa, after a certain while in this game, it really opens up and you can backtrack and have non-linear sections. But guys, let's circle back to opportunity cost. Sure, maybe this game will eventually become the epic that I expected and wanted out of it. But man, Tales of Symphonia just looks so good. I think I'd just rather jump ship than stick it out with Final Fantasy 13. But not just to beat up on the Final Fantasy series, okay? This happened with ActRaiser as well. I had heard about this God mode and this city creation, so naturally my brain starts thinking, maybe this is like Dark Cloud. I don't get to play a lot of games like Dark Cloud, so I hear about ActRaiser. I'm like, let's try it out. Only I went to my local video game store and bought ActRaiser 2. And if you've ever played either of them, 2 abandons a lot of the features that made ActRaiser unique in favor of what seems like a more traditional side-scroller style game. I just wasn't feeling ActRaiser 2, sadly. Another reason players might move on from a game they started is what I'm calling the new toy syndrome. And sure, you've been putting hours into Pokemon Legends Arceus, but then Microsoft announces you can play Starfield early. I mean, who's gonna pass that up? Certainly not me. It's worth noting that Legends Arceus did nothing wrong. I love that game. I really enjoyed my time with it. However, sometimes a new game comes out and it's hard not to resist the urge to play the latest game that you've added to your collection. That brings us to the last reason, and that reason happens often. I do not feel the need to beat every game I start. Some games are just ridiculously long. Some are stupid hard. And these games eventually wear out their welcome. Games these days are over 60 plus hours. I just don't have that much time. Dragon Quest VIII on 3DS is an example of a game that I really enjoyed. I really did. I thought the way that you level up and the way that you can kind of build your character based off how you put your skill points in, and that determines what spells they learn. I thought these were all great ideas. And again, I put a lot of time into this game. We had just returned to Tredane's Castle. Castle Tredane. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So it's not like I was at the beginning of the game. And I really did enjoy my time with this game and thought this was going to be a game that I beat. Like, I liked it a lot, but lately I just haven't been playing my 3DS. I've been playing my GameCube more, my PS2 more, my Switch more. So you just put the 3DS back up on your shelf and you say, hey, you know, I had a lot of fun with this. It'll be here when I get ready to go back to it. I don't feel a real sense of urgency, like, hey, I have to get in here and beat this game. So there you go, guys. That was a handful of reasons why people do not beat their games. I think some people feel bad that they don't end up beating the games that they've started or paid money on or loved at one point and just lost feelings for the game, you know, towards the end of it. As if they could lose their gamer card if people found out they haven't beaten Elden Ring or something. I mean, gaming should be fun, guys. I know if I felt obligated to beat every game I owned, or even just started, it would drive me mad. I have so many games that I want to play that it's just unrealistic to think about beating everything, especially games that I'm no longer having fun with, or when other games just simply sound more fun. So let me know down below, what are some games you started and never finished, and why did you never finish that game? I'd love to hear your reasons. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.